Hello everybody, how you all doing? Welcome to Distilled, Brewed, and Reviewed. My name is John. I'm in my world famous sipping den. And I'd like to do a cool review for you today. But before we get started, I asked for a sub, and let me tell you what you're going to get. On this channel, I do everything that has anything to do with alcohol. Pretty amazing. I also do on Sundays, every Sunday, I post a coffee review. I like to review all the finest beverages in the world made for us big boys and girls. I will say this, is it hard to review everything that has anything to do with alcohol and coffee? I'm conflicted on that answer because on the one hand I want to say no, I don't have any problem doing it. But then I think, well, wait a minute, I'm the only person in the world who can do it. So maybe it is hard. I don't know. It's not hard for me. And you want to hear something more amazing? Because I have a lot of friends that have channels and I like to keep things fair, I do these reviews with half my taste buds tied behind my back. It's unbelievable. And so that you can find all these reviews. How do we do it? How do we find all these, everything has anything to do with alcohol and all the coffees? Well, I have the most up-to-date playlist on YouTube. And not only is it up-to-date and an amazing playlist, I have it categorized and subcategorized so that when you go on it, everything is so easy to find. I've got it broken down. And when you get on there, you're going to be amazed. And on top of that, every video I do, the first comment's pinned because I always have a link that you just have to press to whatever playlist pertains to what I'm reviewing, right? In this case, it would be the rye. Now, speaking of rye, we're going to do this Smoke Wagon bottled in bond straight rye whiskey. Just so you know, if you look in the right-hand corner of the screen, okay, right there, right here, I have the Smoke Wagon Uncut Unfiltered, the Smoke Wagon Small Batch, Smoke Wagon Bourbon, Smoke Wagon Uncut Unfiltered, the Younger, and that. Done reviews on all of them. And now, here's the rye, green label, of course, a silver coin. The other two coins, one is black, one is gold. Now I've got a silver coin. Cool, isn't it? You know what they should do? You know how Blanton's has the horse on top and Castle Key gives you a different numbered key? They should have this like on a chain or somehow where you collect the coins. You get the black, you get the gold, you get the silver. That's a damn good idea, isn't it? Alright, what about this rye? Oh, distilled from a traditional rye mash bill consisting of 51% rye. I don't know how traditional is, but 51% rye and 49% malted barley. Wow. No corn. A high percentage of corn adds a nice high percentage of corn. High percentage of corn adds a nice rich sweetness that balances out the flavor. Notes of rye's big black pepper and cinnamon spice, creating a flavor profile that starts off creamy, rich with fruit and candy flavor notes that has a big, bold, complex spice finish that lingers for eternity. This clearly says 51% rye, 49% malted barley, period, and then it says high percentage of corn. What the hell? Let me look at the back of this. It's hard to read. This says mash bill consisting of 51% rye and 49% corn. This is a misprint. That's why I go above and beyond here. That made no sense. Made no sense. This makes sense. And I'm going to say this. Whenever you get anything, because bourbon and rye only need to be 51% rye, 51% rye. Could be 100. And bourbon, 51% corn. Could be 100. When they get around like this percentage here, and they're not like 95% rye, 5% malted barley, it's almost impossible to tell blind tasting the difference between a bourbon and a rye. Now, 95% rye, 5% malted barley, 78% corn, you can probably pick those apart. But when it gets close like this, it's hard. So, this is a high corn. This is going to be like a bourbon, really. Bonded, so it's 100 proof. Anyway, let's get into it. See, I found that misprint. Made no sense. Made no sense. Yeah. All right. There we go. No barley at all in this baby. So we're gonna. I think you should take a better look at the label. Hard to read the green with the gold. Cool little. There it is. Cross pistols. Pistolas. Because, of course, smoke wagon is a term for a pistol. In the Old West, they used to call it a smoke wagon. It would shoot and it would smoke out, billow smoke out of the thing. And they called it a smoke wagon. All right, so I'm going to take this plastic off. Shrink wrap. It's tamper proof, tamper resistant, and probably keeps evaporation and everything else down with this seal on it. So I don't mind the extra work it takes to, and I'm done doing it with this tip of this corkscrew. We'll see. There we go. I just need to get it started. I'm like Quig. Quig, you always have trouble getting these things off, don't you? And now I'm joining you. So, man, Quig, he's always struggling with these. And I never made fun of him, so this shouldn't be karma. But, now here I can't get it. All right, look at this. Finally, my God. All right, my goodness, I should say. All right, we got it. Oh, man. Fresh crack of this. So look at the color in the bottle. There it is. And now we'll look at the color in the old glass. Now I'm telling you, you go to my bourbon playlist, get all those smoke wagon bourbons. Got a whole rye playlist. It's unbelievable. Here's the color in the glass. Take a nice look at that. All right, 51% rye, 49% corn. If you sample enough stuff, you can actually pick out the rye and you can pick out the corn. They're both bleeding out into the thing. Very interesting, very cool. Has a sweetness, but not a, well, how would I describe this? Not honey. Not brown sugar, not maple. They're the usual suspects in a bourbon when it's sweet. You know what I would say? I know it's going to be a little odd. What it's reminding me of? Cotton candy. It's actually the smell I'm getting in here. Cotton candy. And all right, it's bonded, so we know it's at least 4 years old. And it might have who knows what mixed into it. But we know it's a minimum of 4 years old because it is bonded. Cotton candy, and the reason I was talking about age is because I do smell the wood influence, the oak. And the smoke. The oak, the smoke, the cotton candy. Some dried fruit. Definite spiciness to this. You can pick a lot up on the nose. Let's stop here. Let's give it a taste. Let's see how it develops. We're going to do an acclimation sip and then we'll continue on. All right. Now we're going for the taste. See, that was just an acclamation. Now, on the palate, as you're holding it in your mouth, kind of giving it a Kentucky chew, you're getting a sweetness, and that reminds me of kind of a diluted simple sugar or simple syrup, kind of liquid with the sugar diluted into it. That was the kind of the sweetness I was getting. There's a lot of for having low corn, it's a high corn rye, but it's not a bourbon. It's not 70-something, 80-something% corn. It's pretty sweet. I'm looking to see. I forgot what I was looking. Just off to Elvis. All right. Let's see what we can pick out of it besides simple syrup. Definite oak. Definite wood. Definite tannin on the back. Some nice vanilla. That's pleasant. Vanilla, it's a hard one because it's like a dainty flavor to me, and a lot of times I don't get it. So it's pleasing when I do it. Even things that add vanilla, like beers or something, they added vanilla beans. No, it gets overshadowed. But in this case, I'm getting some vanilla, and I like it. Well, it's sweet up front, surprising. And the rye is giving me definite pepper. Definite black pepper. I'll just leave it there. See if I'm getting any cinnamon or baking spice. I'm going to look for it. It's not jumping out, but let's dig for that. It's a spicy little devil. Almost like there's some, like they put a habanero in there for a little bit and then took it out, just kind of let it bleed into it. There's not much spice in there. I don't want to convince myself that there's baking spices, but I don't know. Have I talked myself into cinnamon? Now I think I'm getting it. Don't know if I am or not, but I am getting now. This is going to change. Remember, that was a neck pour. As air hits it, as it develops, if you put ice or water, all that's going to change things. It's a nice wood smell, it really is. See if you don't get a kiss of chocolate now. I'm getting. Kind of took over the vanilla spot. Huh. Other than strawberry, it's kind of like eating a cosmopolitan flavor. Wood's coming on strong now too, stronger than at the beginning. Well, it's changing. Well, there it is. I don't ever rate things. I tell you what I taste. I tell you what I know. I tell you what I think, and I let you decide. All right? So there it is. There's the Smoke Wagon. Remember, I've done all the other ones as well. Now, I've done a lot of stuff. I've done it all for you. So don't forget to subscribe. Leave a comment, right? I'll talk back. I'll have a nice conversation. And I'll see you all in the next one, all right? Yeah.